Welcome back to a review. Me, Kevin from Let's Talk Whiskey. This week I've got something a little bit off the beaten track, maybe something you'll not be able to pick up, but I picked this up in auction a wee while ago, and I don't know why I didn't review it at the time. I've went back to it a good few times and things, and I thought this is probably a good time to get it out to everyone there to see. Maybe they've got it in their collection, they've got it in the house, they wanted to know a little bit more. What I've got here is Signatory, which is independent bottler who actually own um, Distillery in Perthshire. This is a 12-year-old Bowmore, but not any Bowmore. This was distilled in 1992. 6th of May 1992, and the 6th of May is my birthday, so by sheer coincidence I didn't even notice that when I picked this up in auction. So it was distilled on the 6th of May 1992 and bottled on the 16th of August 2004. So this has been sitting in the bottle for nearly 20 years, well, over 20 years from when I got it. Bottle 320 of 421, and this was an export only, and this was going to Charleston in South Carolina. I've picked this up for just about £80 in auction, which was a steal, I think. Bowmore is Islay, so the distillery itself is based in Islay, so peated whisky is what we're looking at most of the time. Lightly peated, and Old Bowmore can be fantastic. Signatory is owned by Andrew Symington, who used to work, I think he worked in a hotel in the kind of 80s and then decided to take the plunge into the whisky world. 1988, he brought us the Signatory range. This is called the Unchill Filtered Collection. There's, I think, 3 or 4 other collections within that portfolio. And he's been able to move everything from Edinburgh, where it used to be, to now it's been moved to Perthshire, to actual right across from Edinburgh Distillery. So looking at this, it used to be in the business in Edinburgh, is what it says on the bottle, but it was actually now it is based in Perthshire. This is 750 mils as well, because it's an export, and it's 46% ABV, non-chill filtered, and natural colour, which is always going to be that way. This is matured in oak. It's going to look like a bourbon maturation, maybe a refill bourbon. So we're looking at Islay, peat, and more or less, to an extent, a single cask for how many bottles we've been able to get from this. I think Bowmore is one of the lighter styles of peated whisky that you can get from Islay. You know, if we look at Ardbeg, it's probably one of the top range if you take Octomore out of the occasion. But Bowmore is a slightly lighter. I think they kick around the 20 to 30 ppm mark in their phenolic peating levels. So this whisky here is just, I've not actually had it for a few weeks. I was jumping back to it for a little bit, but I really enjoyed it. I actually opened it with Roy from Aquavite, and we opened it, the cork broke and everything, it all crumbled, which is expected from old bottles, but the whisky itself was great at the time. So I'm going to get back into it. As usual, we'll give it a wee swirl. There's still some wee bits of sediment of cork within this, unfortunately, but we'll just class that as extra protein, right? So first of all, looking at legs on it, as usual, they're taking their time to come down. They're not super slow, but they're not fast as well, and that's the unchill filtered content coming through here. It's got a nice, very light straw, very light hay, kind of Chardonnay wine colour to it. So we'll get this on the nose, we'll get it on the palate, and we'll see what we get. It's peaches, peach syrup, pineapple syrup, tropical juices from tin fruit, soft, kind of sweet peat coming through. It's like chalk as well, candied sweets. Not candied sweets, but chalk sweets, or chalked candies. That wee tropical note coming through. There is an oiliness, a kind of soft, maybe salted caramel butter coming through. That wee little bit of the coast, it kind of, if you've been to Bowmore and you look out and you're right on that water with water splashing off the distillery in itself, tiny remnants of that. New Age Islay, I get a lot of coastal. I'm getting just slight coastal hints on this. Tropical. ABV 46. I think it sits about a 46, maybe just a little bit less is what it feels like on the nose. Magic. Well, let's get this on the palate now. Flange everyone. It stays tropical. It stays. It's an ashy peat. It's not sweet on the palate. It is burnt out. You've went to the fire in the morning to make sure everything's brought back inside. There's just those little embers of ash that's sitting there. It's got that. It's as if a pineapple's been getting turned over the top of it and it's dripped onto it. There's something bizarre in there. It is very salivating again. It stays around. It's not dry. It's staying there. That kind of little breathing in again. I can just get that peat coming through. It's just that nice ashy note to it. It's staying tropical. Tropical, grippy. The kind of saltiness disappears from what I was getting on the nose. There's a soft kind of oak influence on it. Again, one of these drams that you don't need to keep going back to. Although I've gave a couple of drams and stuff out as well, but I have like just before Christmas kept going back to this. It just kind of hit the spot for me, and it still is today. And I hadn't really properly broken it down until now. So getting all these different flavors and experiences, it's great. I think the only thing is it's going to be difficult to get one of these bottles. It's 1992 12-year-old Bowmore, no, distilled in the 90s, and picking that up for about £80 is, for me, it's been an absolute steal, right? If anyone knows, it's been imported by Total Beverage Solution in Charleston, South Carolina. So I think it's an American only, potentially, is what we've got. Old school writing on it, due to no chill filtration, this whisky may turn cloudy when stored in a cool place. It is both more full-bodied and full-flavoured. Old school labelling. The whisky, I love Signatory what they do. They always bring some great stuff out there, and we're seeing it just now at really good prices with the other collection, or the new range of collections, shall we say. This is one I wouldn't add water to. I don't think it needs it at all in the slightest. I actually think it takes it away. There's a weird, not fresh lime, but maybe squeezed lime. It's not zesty, it's not zingy, it's tropical, it's laid back, it's old school whiskey, it's old school Bowmore, which I love. I struggle with kind of new age Bowmore personally. For some reason, this hits bourbon or refill bourbon Bowmore. Great nose, great palate. It's magic. It's a really good dram. Something that I like in a whiskey, but I'm never going to be able to get this again. I don't think I am anyway. I need to really be searching for the auctions to find this. But I'm enjoying it. I'm actually got a wee bit left. I've poured a big dram today. So I'm going to go sit back and just take the rest of this wee dram in and enjoy it. Let me know if you've ever had this. Let me know if you've tried older Bowmore from the 90s and maybe similar age, 10 to 15 years old, and what you think of that as well. It'd be good to hear your thoughts. So put that in the comments. Let me know what you think. And I'll try and reply. I do see them all. I just struggle to reply to them all the time, everything getting in the way. But again, I appreciate everyone that's tuned in, everyone that watches, likes, subscribes, and comments. Please keep up. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to go and sit back, finish this off, and maybe pour another one. But as always, join me next week. Let's talk whiskey. Flange.